Hi students, if I ask you what would be the smallest structural and functional unit of any living organism, what would be your answer? Your answer would be the term cell, right? Yes, it's absolutely true. Today we'll be going to discuss the history of the cell. How was the cell discovered? How was the various other organelles nucleus discovered, right? So the first experiment regarding how was the cell discovered was of the scientist Robert Hooke. What Robert Hooke did, he took some cork. Now what do we mean by the term cork? The outermost layer of a tree is called as bark, which is a kind of a protective layer. And the outermost layer of the bark is termed as cork. He took cork and examined in a microscope made by himself. He observed that cork contained a block, some closed room-like structures, kind of a honeycomb-like structure. And what was each structure in it? It was called as cell. So the term cell, which resembles a little room, kind of a little room, was coined. So the scientist Robert Hooke coined the term cell. He observed it in cork. Now the next scientist, Anton von Leeuwenhoek. What he did, he observed free living cells in pond water. It means the first experiment done by Robert Hooke, he observed the dead cells. Yes, the cork consist of the dead cells. And the second experiment done by Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he observed free living cells in pond water, which were algae. The next experiment means the next discovery was made by the scientist Robert Brown. He discovered the nucleus in the year 1831. The next discovery was made by the scientist Purkinje. He coined the term protoplasm. Today we also call it as cytoplasm in the year 1839. Then came two scientists, Schleiden and Schwann. They formulated the cell theory. Now what was the cell theory? Look, these all points look very easy, but at that time, in the year 1665, in the year 1674, 1831, it was a great discovery. So Robert Hooke discovered the cell. Leeuwenhoek discovered free living cells. Hooke discovered dead cells. Leeuwenhoek discovered free living cells. He called cells as animalcules. Because free living cells appeared as the animals are walking kind of. That is why he termed the free living cells as animalcules. Then Robert Brown, using his microscopy technique, he discovered nucleus in 1831, almost 150 years after the discovery of Leeuwenhoek, right? Then Purkinje given the term of the fluid inside the cell as protoplasm. Today we call as cytoplasm as well. Then Schleiden and Schwann formulated the cell theory. What they did, one was a botanist and the other was zoologist. They observed plant cells and animal cells independently, and then they along with each other formulated the cell theory. Now what was the points of the cell theory? The first point was all the organisms are made up of one or more cells. The second point, basic structural and organizational unit of every organism is nothing but cells. The organism could be unicellular, then it would be a single cell, or multicellular, then it would be many cells. This was the cell theory given by the scientists Claudin and Schwann. Then came one more scientist, that is Rudolf Virchow. Virchow, what he did, he expanded the cell theory. He has given the third point of the cell theory, that is the cells arise from pre-existing cells. It means the new cells would be formulated from the old cells, from the pre-existing cells. This point was given by the scientist Rudolf Virchow, and it completes the cell theory. Eventually, electron microscope was discovered in 1940, and it led to discovery of the inner organelles and various components of the cell. In brief, if we talk about the various discoveries related to cell, Robert Hooke coined and discovered cell. Leeuwenhoek discovered free living cells. Robert Brown discovered nucleus. Purkinje coined the term protoplasm. The cell theory was given by Claudin and Schwann, followed by some expansion with the scientist Rudolf Virchow. Eventually, it leads to development of electron microscope in 1940, and it led to the insights of the cell. Thank you.